Hey crew, Mrs. Rancourt here. So if you log into Edsby right now or on our Google Drive, you'll notice that I added a few new documents for you guys. The first being this calendar for the week. So like I said in my remind message and like what I posted on Edsby, I'm going to run class a little bit differently this week. So instead of teaching live lessons during the Zoom meetings, instead, I'm going to record myself ahead of time, post it on YouTube, allow you guys to kind of work at your own pace this week. And then you can use the Zoom meetings as an opportunity to check in, ask questions, work on assignments that you need extra help with. And then at the end of the week, I'm going to just kind of see how that goes and determine if I want to teach live lessons or if this second way works best for us. So stay tuned for that. You'll notice in the calendar that there's a pacing guide for each day. So Monday, this is today. I posted for you our Zoom information, what the focus for class is going to be, which is the SAT practice, my suggestion for how long it should take you to take the SAT practice, the link for the Google Drive on where to find it. And then when you're finished, on YouTube currently is a video with explanations and answers to that test. Don't forget you also have a Parlay Ideas discussion board due by 11:59, and it tells you the date as well. So each day I kind of do this focus with what's due by the end of the day, a lot of submissions on Edsby this week, and then you'll just have to go onto YouTube and look for the corresponding video that matches the focus for the day. Okay? Please make sure you reach out to me by an Edsby message or on Remind 101 if you need any assistance, clarification, anything like that, so that you're not falling behind with your assignments. So for this video, I'm going to focus on the says, does, because. This is a strategy that we learned at the beginning of a rhetorical analysis quarter, which is at the beginning of the school year. You're also going to need the 2010 FRQ2 question, which focuses on a piece by Benjamin Banneker. So you're going to need both of these things. So first I'm going to start with a review of the says, does, because. So you'll find these notes in your rhetorical analysis section of your binder. But if your binder is sitting in my classroom right now collecting dust, that's okay. I've included this handout on our Google Drive. So just to remind you what this is used for. So it says one of the fundamental skills you will need to complete a successful analysis of text is the ability to recognize how the parts of a piece of writing come together to make meaning. Okay. Rhetorical analysis involves observing what the text does as well as what it says. So basically the says, does, because analysis involves observing and then commenting on the differences between the content, the form and function, and then the purpose. So that's a breakdown of the says, does, because. The content is what it says, the form and the function is what it does, and then overall purpose will be our because. So this is a way to deconstruct a text in order to see how the different parts fit together. Okay, so you would want to use this approach when reading a new text. You can also track notes in the margins or create an outline. So for the AP exam, when you receive that FRQ2, this is a different approach to, say, using your cat swamped model or your damp SPLETC. I would say pick one or the other. So you can still break down those rhetorical aspects, those 10 things in a rhetorical analysis. But if you prefer the says, does, because, then it's an outline that you're creating as you read for addressing that prompt. So this can work hand in hand with that cat swamped. It also helps with the command and conquer. So that command and conquer model that we use, remember, is the way that we're going to approach breaking down the prompt and figuring out what the prompt is asking us to analyze. So going back to this model, we are going to use says statements to summarize the text. Okay, articulating the content, summarizing what the text is saying. Our does statements will describe the construction, the organization, and the form with as little reference to the content as possible. So what the text does. Those will be like our strategies. Our because statements will discuss the writer's purpose in employing those techniques. So why is our writer doing those things? What effect do the does, the construction, the organization, and the form, what effect does it have on the reader? What effect does it have on the overall purpose for writing? So remember, here's the instructions for how to begin. You're going to first want to divide the text into workable chunks, okay? Your chunks can be as big or as small as you want them to be. That is an option, that is a choice. For the Benjamin Banneker text, it is pretty small. There are only 4 paragraphs. So this might be best to break down into 4 chunks, into 4 paragraphs, okay? So what you're going to do is then when you decide to chunk the Ben Banneker piece, your says statements will be the summary of each of those chunks, the main points. You can put them in bullet point form, or you can use sentences. But your goal here is to reduce a large chunk into 2 or 3 sentences. So we're going to take that paragraph and we're going to summarize it into 2 or 3 sentences. For your does statements, you're going to write about 1 to 2 sentences using accurate and well-chosen verbs to describe what the paragraph does for the reader. For example, does that chunk introduce a topic? Does it introduce a new point? Does it expand the point of the previous paragraph, etc.? So what is that chunk doing? Okay, you have a list of verbs in the rhetorical analysis portion of your binder. It's item 9. If you no longer have your binder, it is also on our Google Drive. Finally, your because statements. You're going to want to try to write 2 to 3 sentences that assess and evaluate why the writer has chosen to do what he or she has done. So consider purpose here. One of our rhetorical analysis focuses that purpose. What is the writer's ultimate goal? What is he or she doing to get this across to their audience? So you want to bridge a gap there between writer, purpose, and audience. We want to bring those 3 parts of rhetorical analysis together to create these because statements. If you need examples for what these look like, below I have chunked out for you President Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, and I have shown you examples for how to write says, does, because statements for each of the chunks provided, okay? So for homework tonight, what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and read this prompt from the 2010 AP Lang exam, focusing specifically on question 2, a piece written by Benjamin Banneker, the son of a former slave. Okay, this is a letter that he wrote to Thomas Jefferson. So I want you to go ahead, chunk this out how you want. Go ahead and create those says, does, because statements. Again, you can print this page and annotate on the page and then write out your answers, or you can put it on a Word document and write out your says, does, because statements and submit those online through the submit button through Edsby by 11:59 p.m. on Tuesday night. Okay? Please reach out to me if you have any questions, or join our Zoom session on Tuesday at 3 o'clock and I can help you through this. That's all for now. Have a great day.